Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadron is gearing up for a massive release a lot sooner than expected. We'll be talking about that release date as well as going over the brand new character who they just revealed, and we'll also be predicting who the other 4 characters will be coming by the launch of the game. And the launch is soon, so these characters are going to be announced very quickly. We'll also be going over the unfortunate Dragon Ball Sparking Zero update, which has a lot of people angry, justifiably so, maybe not. We'll be discussing that. And then we'll also be talking about the fan game Hyper Dragon Ball Z, which has a lot of people pumped. If you guys aren't into Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadron, then I would suggest trying out Hyper Dragon Ball Z. We'll be talking about all that and more in this Dragon Ball news update. Now, I just did a video yesterday, and then all of a sudden a bunch of news drops, and you know I had to make a video on it. Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadron went ahead and confirmed this morning that they will be officially releasing September 9th. Now, before this, I made a video going over the fact that they would be releasing 5 new character reveals before the official game released. Well, wouldn't you know it, they went ahead and revealed 1 new character today, which is Cell. He's going to be a tank. This game is coming out September 9th. How crazy is that? That's a really short release date from the time that they announced it, which is exciting. That's really only like over a week away. So this is very exciting for a lot of people, especially if you were excited for the game and were wondering when it's coming, because I know there were a lot of people that was doubting this game was ever coming. So very exciting to be getting it on September 9th. And with that out of the way, let's talk about the predictions. So there are 5 characters that are going to be revealed before the release of the game. First off, we had Cell, who was confirmed. These next 4 are my predictions, who I think will be announced. First off, I predict we're going to be getting Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Dragon Ball Daima, and he will be a tank. Now, he could also be from Dragon Ball GT, and there's a couple reasons. Number 1, Dragon Ball GT has Baby and Oob in the game. I think they're going to want a bigger Dragon Ball GT rep, and I don't think it'll be Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. I think they're going to save those for later on, but I do think Super Saiyan 4 Goku is in the cards. Super Saiyan 4 Goku will likely be damage. I could also see him being tank, but for the purposes of this prediction, just to make things consistent and make sense, I think he will be a damage character. He's also a fan favorite character, and he has an awesome design. I could also see him being a Dragon Ball Daima version, and if that is the case, that would be pretty cool. Maybe they could do a skin and have both versions represented. Next, we have on my predictions list Broly from Dragon Ball Super. I think he is very likely going to be added to the game by launch, just because Broly is quite the popular character, and I could see him being a tank simply because of how powerful he is and how unstoppable he feels. Next prediction is going to be Golden Frieza. Now, we already do have a Frieza in the game, but he does not transform, and he has Zarbon and Dodora in his moveset as a technical character. He is pretty cool, but I do think they're going to want a more traditional Frieza coming to the game, and I could see this being Golden Frieza as the next damage character. Obviously, he would start out in his final form or his regular form, depending on what version you use. A lot of people think that final form Frieza should just be considered the regular Frieza, so I think that's how he would act in this moveset. He would start off as Frieza in his regular form, and then he would transform into Golden Frieza as his transformation. And then the last prediction, which is my wild card prediction for the technical character, would be Tien and Chaozu. Tien and Chaozu, I think, could be a very nice pick, because obviously Tien working with Chaozu would be fun. Chaozu, of course, blowing himself up, things like that. So I could see them being a very fun technical character, especially with Chaozu and his psychic abilities, maybe freezing people while Tien launches his own tri-beam attack. That could be pretty cool. But those are my predictions, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now let's get into this Dragon Ball Sparking Zero update, which has a lot of people furious. It looks like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is not going to be releasing its 3rd DLC wave in August. It looks like it will be coming in September. This is, of course, according to their planned release date on Steam. Again, these are just windows that they have to follow, and they could delay them. They obviously could, but this is what they plan. And I do think that it looks like September is going to be the release date, because they normally announce them like a couple days out or a few days out. That's not happening by this point in August, because it's too late in August. So obviously the 3rd wave will probably release in September. Now, we can predict who we're going to get, but let's be honest, we're everybody's pretty confident we're going to be getting Super Saiyan 4 Goku. That's going to be exciting, but this wait is killing a lot of people. A lot of people are a little bit upset. And are they upset, and justifiably so? Possibly, because Dragon Ball Sparking Zero was a really hyped game. Everybody was excited for it, and then we've had a bit of a content drought in terms of the release schedule. I don't think it's that crazy, but I think it's made worse by the fact that they're not adding any new story content, and also there are no new stages. So just getting new characters is a bit lame, but we also did have a nice little surprise in the form of Shallot as a single release DLC character. So I do think people need to just practice a little bit of patience, but at the same time, the DLC hasn't been that impressive, so I do understand the frustration. Finally, let's talk about this Dragon Ball fan game called Hyper Dragon Ball Z version 6.0. It is the final release of this game on the Mugen engine, and then they're going to be switching over to a new engine and developing it from there. It looks like the new characters coming in this release are Jiren, Goku Black, and Golden Frieza. All characters from Dragon Ball Super, so you Super fans are in for a treat. Hyper Dragon Ball Z looks very similar to a lot of awesome traditional 2D fighting games, but from what I understand, this is like the most legendary Mugen game with a lot of love poured into it, a lot of passion, and boy, these animations look amazing. It also has awesome manga exclusive stuff in it. Like one of Vegeta's attacks actually transforms him into Ultra Ego for a really cool animation. And of course, we also have some other manga references as well all throughout. So I hope you guys definitely do check this fan game out. It's been getting a lot of love this month, and I would have talked about it a lot sooner. But like I said, I went on vacation and didn't really have the time to make a video on vacation. Obviously, you want to enjoy a fun little vacation. If you haven't checked out Hyper Dragon Ball Z, and if you're disappointed by Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, or if Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadron isn't your game, Hyper Dragon Ball Z is there for you. It's honestly a lot of fun. Anyways, guys, that will be it for this video. Like I said, I just released a video talking about Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadron, and then they went ahead and dropped a major reveal, so I had to get this out there. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to keep up to date with all things Dragon Ball news and commentary, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace off.